Hey, how are you? I hope you're well. Um, this is a quick message. I'm just about to travel back to Germany. Spent the last week in Dubai, and it has been a wonderful experience to witness um, a wonderful program of a great teacher, which has been inspiring to me over the last 1 or 2 years, who has great insight into the yogic kind of way, excuse me, but with a more kind of Western approach, which sometimes is helpful for me to understand certain things, at least, in a limited way for my analytical mind. Things that I have learned in the yogic tradition, in the Eastern tradition, in a different way, but couldn't yet figure it out. And I know our mind always tries to understand things, even though it's not possible to grasp the mystical and spiritual dimensions. Sometimes it can be helpful to get a little bit of an idea of what we're trying to do when we work with yoga. What are we trying to do? To get a little bit of a kind of understanding of why are we doing what we're doing. So I've been learning from Sadhguru for 10 years now, and he's my most inspiring teacher I've been privileged to learn from. Now I've been to a program from Joe Dispenza, and what really inspires me about this is that he's able to explain a lot of the science behind the yogic tools, especially what's going on in our body, in our system, in our brain, what's the chemistry really, and what's happening in terms of, hormones and things that are happening for us to get certain experiences, and so it kind of, for me, brings things together. And so I can encourage you to sometimes look at other teachers, not to kind of switch back and forth between tools, but just to have a bit of sometimes it's helpful for our brain to step away when it has a feeling that it understands what we're doing, even though it can't really understand it. And so for me this is the case, and then I always feel more inspired to go deeper with my yoga practices as well. And one of the things I could experience in this week here in the Advanced Retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza in Dubai is the power of opening the heart. And this has been like, a foundation in the yogic science to kind of open the heart. In the yogic science they use different terminology oftentimes. I think when they speak about being in grace and not trying to control life, but to surrender to life. That's what it's like, the same dimension. It's like bringing our energy from our mind into our heart, because our heart in some way, and the chakra is more connected to the wholeness of life, I feel. Our analytical mind is more related to logical thinking, problem solving, and survival, and in many ways it is really good in that, but it's not good in being connected to the source and the larger of life. So when we practice yoga and we try to bring our energies up, it can become a limitation when we're just stuck in the mind. So really being connected to your heart can be a great way, not just to experience life more joyfully, but also to have more impact with your practices and to feel really the energy surge in your system, because it can actually move through without any problem. So there's many ways you can open the heart, but it's helpful for you to explore this on your own. For me, it might be different than for you. For me, what's really helpful always is to go into nature, to see the abundance in nature, to simply see the joy in nature. When you see animals, you know, they are joyful. If you observe them and you just be with them without like a thought or a label in your mind, then this can radiate onto you and you can become more joyful and you can open your heart and you be grateful. And for me, when I can really get into a state of grace and gratitude and love in the heart, not, you know, love for a particular person, but just being filled with love, I can sometimes literally feel the energy pumping right up and I get very strong surge of energy. So I feel more and more over the last couple of years that especially for men, I think women are naturally better with this. They are more connected with their heart, and men often, I think, they lose touch with it. So I invite you to you know, explore this more, connect with your heart, find ways to connect with it, practice gratitude, go into nature, and just, you know, listen to music that puts you into a state of love. There's also mantras you can practice. If you want to know about them, just put it in a comment and I can send you a link that you can practice a mantra that puts you in a state of reverence and love. And that will enrich your life and it will enrich your yoga practices. So I hope you will try to implement this so you can benefit even more from the yoga practices that you're doing. You know, you might be practicing practices like yoga, like meditation kriyas or Surya Kriya, Angamarana, like the Hatha yoga practices that we teach in our programs, which by the way we have come up in Zurich again, Surya Kriya. And these are the most foundational practices, but then if you open up your heart, it can even enrich it more. So I invite you to do this. Guys, I wish you all the best here from Dubai and I'll see you again next week. Bye guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, to make sure that more people can see it. I love you. I send you lots of love. Bye guys.